at the same time, it's also really hard because, okay, we'll have to be selfish because either that girl go beat me up or I go beat her up, and I'd rather beat her up.
Or we ain't getting gold medals out here.
Yeah, like, like...
Do you know what I'm saying, though? Hi, and welcome to The Real Women of Boxing. My name is Jacqui-Lee Pryce. I'm here in Sheffield at the Steel City Gym. Today's guest is a two-time Olympian, World, Commonwealth, and Pan Am champion, Tamara Thibeault.
Hello.
How you doing? That's jokes. I should have said she has a stellar
Amateur career.
She had a stellar amateur career. Actually, you have had a stellar amateur career, haven't you?
Yeah, I did not bad for myself, I've been around for a long time. I've accomplished most of the things I want to accomplish. Still a few things to check off the box, but we're getting there.
Greedy.
Yeah, I know. I like nice things.
Hey, listen, it's all good. It's all good. So I want to take it back to the beginning, because obviously there are people probably in the amateur scene that know you from the Olympics, from, like I said, the Commonwealth Games, etc. But let's take it back to the age of 9 when you started boxing. So tell me a little bit about, why you started boxing.
So basically, my dad was an American football player, and he was a wide receiver. And during the offseason, it was like early 2000s. So off-season meant off-season. It wasn't like it is now where during that time period, you stayed in the gym and you stayed with your team. You actually just did whatever you wanted. So my dad just went to the boxing gym. That's how he stayed fit. I think the first time I stepped into the gym, I was 4. So I was very, very, very young. And after his career as an American football player, he decided to compete in boxing. And one of these days, we went to Swift Current. He was in the provincials on his way to nationals. And my dad was my mom took us there. We were in, I think it was a school or something. And I was just standing on top there, watching him over the mezzanine. And he just laid this guy out flat. I couldn't believe it. My dad was a 92 kilo. So he was a big guy. He's 6'2", big guy. He just laid this guy flat. And I just don't know what it was. But in that moment, I was like, damn, I want to do that. I was 9.
I was like, from a child, she became a child killer.
Yeah. Now that I look back, maybe I should ask a little bit more questions.
Well, so it's weird how you kind of didn't see it as a kind of aggressive or weren't scared by it, but was almost fascinated, I'm guessing, with it.
Yeah, I would say fascinated. And I also said, for me, it was someone to have that much power over someone else, that's crazy. I know it sounds it sounds insane. It sounds like I've got a power trip problem, but but it's just I was thinking, wow, you've got all that power and you could just choose to do that. That's crazy. I don't know what's wrong with me. Something clearly was wrong. If you
I was
a little loose, but
I was like, that's crazy as a child that you recognise that, though.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And doesn't your brother box, or didn't he box as well?
So what happened was originally, my dad took my brother to the box gym because he was he was a sensitive guy, kind of gentle. And Dad was like, we'll toughen him up a little bit. And then I joined, and I was like, she's doing it. I quit. He left. I stayed.
Oh, okay.
And then he became a wrestler. He was much better in wrestling and Olympic style wrestling. So that's what he did throughout high school. And me, I just I don't know, I just fell in love with the sport. At first, it was a way to connect with my dad because he was a professional athlete. And now being a professional athlete, I understand the time it takes and everything that comes with it. And my dad thankfully had my mom, but he had 4 kids. So we didn't really spend that much time with my dad when we were growing up, when he was an athlete. So it was just our moment. So I just took it. It happened to be boxing.
Do you think that was the reason, or one of the reasons, and it might not have been instinctive, but I get to spend time with my dad if I do this sport?
Oh yeah, 100%. And also I'm a southpaw, my dad was a southpaw. And one of the first things that one of the coaches at the gym at the time had told me when I was learning my stance was, oh, you're southpaw just like your dad. And then went to shove me And he was like, "Oh, you're gonna be strong just like your dad." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be like my dad."
That's nice.
Yeah, it was cute. That's one of the moments I remember when I was really, really young, when I was thinking, "Okay, yeah, this is why I want to do this."
And didn't your dad instill like a good work ethic in you from a kind of child as well?
Yeah, so that's something even to this day, my parents don't really give me a break. I think a work ethic is something that's uh, essential to succeed. Like, honestly, like, sure, like people could say, "Oh, you're talented," like, you have a gift, but I think my biggest asset is not those things. It's my work ethic. I'm disciplined, I'm committed, and like, sometimes you win some, you lose some, but I always get back up. And I think that's what makes me great.
Do you think that's something that, because obviously I've done my research and I know what you can do, and I'm talking about inside and outside of the ring as well, but do you think that's probably the biggest or one of the biggest gifts that a parent can give to a child, is kind of to instill that into them?
I definitely think it's a useful gift. It hasn't always been easy, but I'm very grateful for that. Like, honestly, like, I'm someone that takes on a lot. Like, I sometimes too much. Sometimes too much, don't get me wrong. But, like, I will take on the world without even second thought. But because I know what I'm capable of, and I wouldn't be able to do that today if my parents hadn't showed me how to be resilient, how to be, like, how to be disciplined and, like, how to, I don't know, work with chaos.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a massive gift.
Yeah.
I think that's a massive, massive gift. And we'll get further into all your accomplishments.
Sweet.
Which no, it's actually what strikes me looking at kind of everything that you've accomplished inside and outside the ring is very much about just how this woman must have been super disciplined, and sacrificed a lot
Yeah.
to achieve, but it's possible. I think the takeaway that I got from it was it is possible.
Yeah, it is possible, and I think that, like, also, like, I am also getting older, right? So I am getting wiser. So there's things like I don't regret anything. Like, I genuinely don't regret anything. Are there things I would do differently? Maybe, yeah, but, like, that's what it is, getting older. That's what experience is, right? Um, but gosh, if I talk to my younger self, I'd be like, "Girl, you do not have to do so much.
Yeah.
You do not have to do so much all at once." I mean, like, honestly, sometimes I look back and I go, "How did I do that?"
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely go think, "How? Why? Why?" But it's
Yeah.
paid off now. Like, I got so many wonderful things. Like, I've managed to get 2 degrees. I'm finishing my 2nd degree, right, in something that's completely different from sport. I was able to explore, like, other things I was passionate about. I speak 3 different languages, right? So there's so much good that comes from it.
Talk to me about the three different languages, just for showing off sake.
So
Just for bragging rights. Tell me. No, literally, tell
So
me.
French is my first language because I am from Quebec. So both my parents are French. Well, dad's French, mom is Haitian, but both grew up in Quebec. Um, I learned English when I was very young because my parents were just like me, very ambitious, and they moved us all out to an English speaking part of the country when we were very young. And then I learned Spanish on my own when I was about like probably 19, 20 on my own. So I basically did a minor in Spanish in university as well. So like I've got good like background in it. So yeah.
It's amazing. You're probably the best person to ask in terms of how does somebody manage, because like you said, you've obviously studied for your degree, you speak several languages. On top of that, done very, very well in the sport of boxing. How do you kind of map out your schedule to fit all of those things in? Can you give any tips to anybody that's trying to juggle a schedule and to prioritize what is the most important, or how do you kind of prioritize what's important?
So the key is balance, but sometimes not everything has the same weight. Like I know that sounds like it
Mm.
sounds a bit like it sounds simple, But it's just like sometimes boxing's a priority, sometimes uni's the priority, sometimes my family's the priority. Do you know what I mean? Like there are moments where I just have to choose. And there are moments where like I'm not cutting corners, but I have to say, look, right now, like I'm gonna leave you to the side and I'm gonna focus on what's right in front of me. And that's been key. It's something that honestly that's something I still struggle with. Like want to do well in everything all the time, but like realistically, it's not possible. Like it can't. Like there are moments where I'm solely focused on university and solely focused on boxing, and I give everything its due like attention, or at least I try to. Other than that, just pray and do your best. Like honestly, and cut yourself some slack. I think that's the biggest thing is I'm so harsh on myself. I'm so critical. Like I have to do this. I have to excel at this. I have to be this. I think now that I'm older, I'm thinking like, girl, you've done so much. Like cut yourself some slack. Like, yeah, okay, you sleep in a little bit. All right, maybe you haven't eaten on the meal plan because you had to rush to one place. And like have some compassion for yourself and like congratulate yourself for the things that you've already accomplished. Compassion is not something that came easy to me at all, but it's something that I've learned over the years. And like sometimes when I'm running, I realize this like if I'm also being a woman, your menstrual cycle plays a role on how you feel in training. So
Yep.
when I'm in a certain phase of my cycle where like I know that my body's tired and exhausted, instead of saying like, ugh, like you could have done better, I said,
Do more.
yeah, do more. You could do better. Ah, girl, you did a good job. And that's something that's new to me. You know what I mean? But I feel it's something that's really important and that's also changed my perspective on my training and how I feel about myself and what I'm capable of accomplishing. Because sometimes your 100% will be another day's 50%, and that's okay.
The cut yourself some slack is a really great piece of advice because realistically, when you think about it, you wouldn't speak to another woman like that, like you speak to yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like if you like sometimes, okay, I learned this trick. I give I give my negative part of the brain a name. Her name is Becky, all right?
With the good hair.
Yeah, her name is Becky. And that's next to my sister. My sister and I used to get in little fights. Anyways, I'm the posh one of the group, okay? Right? Yeah, so her name is Becky, and I go, Becky, not today. I can't deal with you.
Yeah.
I don't have time for you. Like, this is not how you would, I'm not gonna let you speak to me like that. I know, it sounds like crazy, but it's like, no, I'm not gonna let you speak to me like that.
Becky, come out.
Yeah, like, there's no need for that. That's how I do it.
Can I ask you, though, also about, you said that you kind of have to prioritize. And that's a word that some people, they grapple with. Have you had some tough conversations? Because as women, we try to be everything to everybody. But then in the midst of being everything to everybody, sometimes we forget ourselves. But as an athlete, as somebody that's studying, you kind of have to put yourself first. Have you found it hard to have those conversations with people?
It's been really hard to have conversations with people. It's been hard even sometimes with my family. Like, do you know what I mean? Because for us, it's always been family first, like education, and then boxing, like in that order, right? And sometimes where it's like I have to be selfish, I find it difficult. Do you know what I mean? And it's also difficult for the people in my life as well because they're not in that position, and I understand. And it's just like, okay, but why do you have to do this? It's just a sport, or why does it, right? And it's not their fault. Like you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like it is just a sport. We are just entertaining, right? I mean, I am no neurosurgeon. Yeah, the people do not depend on me for their life. There are people who do like way more important jobs that actually like save lives. And I'm not trying to like degrade the sport at all, but it's also just a reminder of like, hey, like this is fun. Like this is great. I get to do what I love as a job. Like this is something like like on the contrary, this is amazing. But at the same time, it's also really hard because okay, we'll have to be selfish because either that girl go beat me up or I go beat her up, and I'd rather beat her up.
Oh, we ain't getting gold medals out here.
Yeah, like
Do you know what I'm saying? No, I think that it's important and listen, I totally agree with you. It's really difficult for people to kind of understand if they've never even been in a gym. Do you know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is your trainers probably do 30, 40 hours. You know, the guy that works with the kids as well.
Yeah.
You know, grabs a bite to eat and then runs back to the gym.
Yeah.
Goes to a show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of understanding that needs to take place on all sides.
Yeah, and as women, I think we have different choices than men. Like, and I'm not saying that, like, I'm not saying it as a negative thing. I'm just saying it's different.
It's just facts.
Yeah, like, it's just at the end of the day, we just have different choices to make, right? And we get to a point where we're like, we at these crossroads, and it's like, okay, what we gonna do? Because we can't do it all at once. I think we can do, and I think that's something my mom, she's taught me. You can do it all. You maybe can't do it all at once,
At the same time, but
you could do it all.
yeah, 100%. Talk to me about, obviously you've been in the gym, you're doing well, clearly. When was the kind of moment where someone takes you aside and says, Tam, listen, time to step up. We're going into the championships. Can you remember that time?
A moment that's really like memorable for me was I had a where I had a talk with my coach Samir. It was in 2022. It was right before World Championships, and it was like it was not in the best place. I was going through a lot of change in my life, um, and I had to make some choices. And I was sat, and I remember we were like in the venue, and I was like, Samir, I need this. Like I want, like it was right before we went all the way, we'd won, and it was just like early. I was like, I need this. I was like, I want this. I want to be I want to be a world championship. And he went, you know what? All right, let's do it. And that's kind of like the moment we decided that's what we're gonna do. I hadn't even fought yet. I was just like, I hadn't fought yet. I hadn't like it. It was a shit show. Like the whole everything was it was getting crazy. Like people were fighting each other. Our teammates were not getting along. Like it was just our little squad. And I just like was like, yeah, like I want to do this. Like I've made enough sacrifices. And it was for me, that's when Samira was like, yeah, all right then.
It's my time.
Yeah, do it.
Do Canadians have the kind of negative feeling towards females that are ambitious, like, let's say, British people?
To be honest, I've never felt that. Like, I've never been in a position where I felt like beneath like any males. Like, actually, on the contrary, like I was the best performing athlete for a long time on the team, right? And I don't think I think I was regarded as an athlete and not as a female athlete, which that was my that was my interpretation of at least the last couple of years. I think it was a bit rookie because like every federation, but we cleaned up our federation in 2022. Yeah, in 2022, cleaned up federation, got a whole new people in, and we've made quite a few changes. I felt like that was really when I got the respect as an athlete instead of just like as a female athlete, as a this. I was like, no, okay, she's our best athlete. Sweet. Like, great. And that's really where I got to step in and make choices about like my pathway and what I thought about my training or what I thought I needed like as an athlete in the sense that I was contributing to my development and not just like I wasn't like not in charge and like telling people what to do kind of like a diva, but like really contributing to like something that was insightful and also taking what other people had to say. Cause like I'm not an expert. I can only tell you what I feel or what I think, but then like you could also take in expertise from other people. And I think that's where we excelled really well as a team is we were able to talk to each other, communicate and see like which direction we wanted to go in and adjust as we like kind of make our way through.
What's interesting is you say we, and there seems to have been this, I don't know if it was a conscious thing, because that's kind of not, I don't think that's normal in the amateur game. It's probably the democratic type of coaching happens, I think, when you become a pro possibly and you're paying somebody.
No, my team, like I would do it all over again. I didn't get the decision that I wanted at the Olympics. I didn't like you have a bad day on the wrong day, like damn it happens. You know what I say? Like at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? But I would do it again with my team. I wouldn't change a thing with them. Like they have been like they they were so kind to me as a human being. They got to like I absolutely love them. Like I wouldn't change a thing. Like I would do it all even if I knew the result, I wouldn't change a thing. I love my team. They're great. They're like even now I'm here, but like they will like kind of always have a part of me. I'd go to war with them and I wouldn't even ask questions.
It seems like they really contributed to your success. And I'm not just talking about the training, but just by allowing you to be yourself, to be a participant in the decision making.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I've ever heard of that before.
We're a small group. So we're a very small group. So that's also, I think that's also one of the advantages of this having a small group. It's like we didn't have a lot of resources. We didn't have a lot of like options. So we kind of had to mesh. We had to make it work. And I think we did really good in that. Like we went to World Championships with 4 athletes. Like 4 athletes and 2 coaches, I think, or something stupid. Like we had to make it work. Like, girl, I don't know about you, but we're in this together. So look, you could be upset, but you will be upset right here.
Yeah, but also it's like, oh my God, yeah, it's like, listen, we're doing this. If we're going to do this, we're not going to waste our energy on BS. We're going to pull together. And I think that's honestly, it's a tremendous thing to hear that people put their egos aside and they didn't treat you, like you said, like a female or
the last 2 years, I had the best coaches.
Oh, wow.
I had the best coaches, the best team, like Vincent, Samir, and all the other like support staff, like the physio, nutritionist, like the physiologist as well. Like everyone was so engaged, and they wanted not only for us to succeed like in like competition, but they also wanted to see us like grow as people, and it made such a difference. Like honestly, like I can't say anything bad about my team or anything. Like I do again, like I said, I do it all over again with them.
You sound like you were really, really blessed. So before we talk about the latest Olympics that you went to, because she's been to 2, let's talk about Tokyo. Obviously, the lead up to that, wasn't it you guys didn't go to the Worlds the year before?
So no, it was the pandemic.
Oh, yes.
I didn't have sparring, I think, 3 weeks before the Olympics, or before we left the Olympics. Because Canada was so restrictive in like the measures and stuff. Like I was not prepared, like at all. Like I won 18 months without fighting for the Olympics. 18 months without fighting, like minimal sparring. Like yeah, we had the guys and stuff and so on. And we did the best we could, but like it was nowhere near getting ready for Olympics. Like I need training partners. Like we didn't go out, we didn't travel, we didn't do anything, and it made a huge difference. And then yeah, but I mean it is what it is.
But you get there, obviously, and you think, you know what, at the end of the day, let's just, I don't want to say make the best of it, but it is kind of, what was the thing that kind of, I guess, kept you driven? Because, listen, it was tough. I mean, you guys had it tougher than us in terms of the restrictions.
Yeah, it was really, in Canada, it was really tough. Like we had like curfews and everything.
Yeah.
It was really tough. But honestly, like I was qualified. Like, I mean, like I got the chance to go because of like all the like achievements I'd had prior, right? So I was qualified and I was like, this is my dream. I want to go to the Olympics. Like for me, that's what it was. So I did that. I did it to the best of my abilities at that time. And like, there's nothing more I could say. Like it is what it is. Like it's just no one could have predicted a pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. Was there less kind of pressure in a sense because everyone was in the same boat?
No, because I'd just come off a like I think my second Worlds. Yeah, it was my second Worlds. So my first Worlds I went to, I made the top 5. My second Worlds I went to, I got a bronze medal. I think I was like 20 or something. Like I was really young, so I was performing really well, and I'm hypercritical, right? So I was expecting nothing less than a bronze medal, obviously. But what happens?
So, just for people that don't know, just give me a list of your accolades. Bearing in mind, I've only got an no, I'm joking. Give me a list of your accolades.
So I've done I don't know how many tournaments I've done, how many medals I have, but some of my biggest accomplishments are top 5 of the worlds. I think 6 or 7-time continental champion. I've got bronze medal at the World Championships, got gold medal at the World Championships, bronze medal Commonwealth, gold medal Commonwealth, silver at Pan American Games, gold at Pan American Games. Yeah, like those are the biggest tournaments. I would say the major tournaments. So I've done a lot. I've done a lot, and I went unbeaten for 3 years. Like I was totally dominant in my weight class for 3 years.
At every major competition, it seems that you kind of move one step up the
Yeah.
ladder every single time. What are the key things the things that you do differently each time to just get that, I'm guessing 1, 2, 3% out of you?
I think honestly, this is gonna sound crazy, but like the best thing you could do is lower expectations. Every time you step up, and this is something I learned after Paris and like going into my professional career is lower expectations. Just get in there and like I just kept refocused. Like when I was at my best, and actually when I was at my best and when I felt at my best, it was actually easy for me to just bring it back to basics. Like what am I here for? What am I doing? Like forget everything else is going around. This comes again to like priorities and what we were talking about. Like sometimes you prioritize certain things. Like really bring it back to the basics and focus on the task at hand. Like that's how I got up the ladder. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do this. It's actually just like, okay, I'm here now. And then like you do what you have to do, and then you're like, okay, now I'm there. And then you focus on there. And then okay, then we're on the next step. So it's always being right where you are.
Mm. Do you sometimes also have to just keep re-evaluating your why?
Always. Yeah. Like my why is different now than what it was when I was a kid. And I think that's very important. And I also think that knowing your reason why is very important.
Mm.
Like so a lot of people go through things and don't know why. And there's no wrong answer. Like as long as you know your reason why, you know why you keep moving forward, you know why you make the sacrifices you make.
An XGB member told me that you kind of have the highest of highs and the lowest of lows with your team. I guess, is it more intimate because your team was smaller and when you
Oh,
share those moments?
yeah, definitely. And we were very close, right? Like we were allowed to be ourselves, and I think that's what made it really like unique. And so like my coaches have seen all the shades. Like all the shades. Like there's some days I come to the gym, like I am like in a good way. There's some days I come to the gym and like don't talk to me, don't look at me. I can't even throw a jab without bursting out in tears. Like
Which move she in today?
yeah, for real. It's like, girl, you know. So it's just like definitely very intimate relationships with with my team.
I say we like I was part of the team.
Yeah, yeah, girl.
So we get to Paris 2024.
Yeah.
Yes. And I believe that you were the number one seed
Nope.
going into, well, I was going to say that's what I believe, that you were the number one seed going in to the middleweight category. But you said no.
Uh-oh. Do all that work for what?
I thought there was a lot of expectation on you to win a medal in those games.
Yeah, there was a lot of expectation, not from just like other people, but also from myself. And like I said, like I'm not gonna take anything away from my opponent. Like it was a 3-2 like a 3-2 split decision. Could have gone either way. Judges saw it that way. Like what do you want me to do? Like and it happens. Like it could have gone either way. I would have won. I've been happy. She would have won. I was like, oh, okay, well, fair play. Like it's not something I can control.
Just for people that are tuning in, you fought Cindy at Ngamba.
Yeah.
And she, although she trained with Team GB, she actually represented the refugee team. Are you the type of person that believes in when it's your time, it's your time?
I don't know. I thought it was my time, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know, but I do believe that things happen for a reason, and like I've grown from it, like as a person. I know that sounds super cliche, and like between me and you, like I didn't want to grow from it. I'd rather be Olympic champion, like. But that's just how it went, and like I just have to have faith that something greater is gonna come, and like you know, and not let it define me as an athlete. Like I've accomplished so much. Like it's one tournament, it's one fight, it's 9 minutes. Am I gonna let it define my entire career or the rest of my career? No.
It can't. I'm not being funny. It just can't.
No, exactly.
It really can't. It can't. I do believe though that don't get me wrong, because it's easy for me to sit there. I didn't do 4 years. I didn't sacrifice what you sacrificed together. So it's very easy for me to sit here and go, oh, It's all right. It's only a competition. Where you at? Do you know what I mean?
But it is, but it isn't.
So you've talked about, I laugh because you talked about, I just had a vision in my head of you coming in the gym with some like crazy antics some days.
Yeah.
But I've kind of heard that it is really kind of difficult to be in a high performance camp for, you know, one cycle, let alone two cycles. And how tough it is, not just physically but emotionally. What got you through the tough times?
Honestly, it was the people. Like I genuinely like my best friends come from boxing. Like my best friends, like I don't live anywhere near my friends. So you know when you go home, like I live in the UK, right? It's like, oh, you go home and go see your friends. Like, yeah, no, my friends are still 4,000, 2,000 miles away. My best friends like one of my best friends lives in Barbados. Like I see my friends every 6 months, right? Just because of the lifestyle that we live. But it was the people. I couldn't have gotten through without the people. Like it made the whole difference.
What did you think about doing after the Olympics? Was it always the case that you were going to go pro?
Yeah, I would say so. I think like I just wanted something different, right? Um, I wanted a different challenge, a different perspective, and like you said, like 4 years in a centralized program is hard. Like I want something different for myself in terms of my life. I've always wanted to study abroad, and I was never able to because of boxing. But now I was like, I was at a point in my life where I could choose. Like I could decide, like I could live abroad and box and do this. And it's scary,
Mm.
right? Because it's like you never know how it's gonna work out. Ever. You think you know, but then you don't know. And you go, damn.
You turned over pro last year, and you decided to go with MVP, which obviously is Jake Paul's
Hmm.
organisation. Kind of talk to me about how you kind of linked up with Jake Paul.
So I didn't do anything. My manager did. She's great. She's someone that I trust very much. Like, I'm very lucky. Like, someone else was with me before I turned over, who's seen me grow as a person and who's like, we've been through everything together. Like, I trust her and I trust her judgment and I trust that, she works so that, no, I'm not okay just as an athlete and like I got a good contract and I like go to the right place. But like as a person, like she's like, what's important for me is that you're okay. And I think that's kinda also what made the choice with MVP as well, was like, okay, like this is good, right, in terms of professional, but like you're okay. Like you're gonna be okay. And this is good, like we're aligned in our values, we're aligned in our vision, and like this is a good fit. And I trusted her to like move forward with them. And then obviously like I got involved when things like started to like unfold. And yeah, it was just that. It was just a good fit.
Because I can imagine all the promoters were quite thirsty trying to get hold of you.
I don't know, I wasn't part of that.
Or you just, which is kind of quite good that you're kind of quite removed from it all and you just let her get on with it.
Yeah, and it's something that was very important is like I'm a very sensitive person. So I want to know everything, but sometimes not knowing everything is actually not that good for you because like until it's made, until there's something like set, like more so like put in place and that is worth you knowing, then that's kind of the mindset that she's been. It's just like when something's important, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
It's better that way. And so I can focus and she's always been very good at letting me focus on like what needs to be like prioritized.
So talk to me about the first time you met Amanda Serrano.
Oh, we met in December. I thought it was really cool. It was surreal, but at the same time, like I like this gonna sound so weird, but it's just like I didn't feel out of place. Like
Mm.
I didn't feel like out of place. I felt like I was meeting another like fellow athlete, and I thought it was really cool that like we were part of the same stable. Do you know what I mean? And so it was more of like an honor, and I was like, oh, nice, like this is so great. But I didn't feel out of place at all, and I thought it was really cool, like how she was very humble, she's a very sweet girl. Like honestly, she's a very normal person,
Mm.
and like I felt good. I felt nice. I felt like I was in the right place.
I like to hear that though, that you didn't feel out of place because again, sometimes we put people on pedestals, but do you think that also that's down to her because I've only met her once,
Mm.
but honestly, I was just like, you've accomplished what you've accomplished and you are so humble.
Yeah, she's like super like normal.
She's super cool.
Yeah, she's really cool. Like honestly, so and for that, like it makes me really happy to see and be really proud to be kind of like part of the same stable, right? our feet are on the ground, our heads are above the clouds, and like we do what we got to do, and that's it.
So you had your debut. That was in December, was it not?
Yeah, December. Yeah.
And it was against Natasha Spence. Wow, you had a significant reach, height, everything.
Yeah.
Talk me through that kind of that experience.
I thought it was really cool. It was like my first fight after the Olympics, right? So it was kind of like I was going a dark place, big stage.
Lights,
yeah,
music.
right. And it's very new. Like even though I had a lot of experience in boxing, it was my first, like very well aware. Like I'm new to professional boxing, and so I knew that she had a lot of experience. Like my opponent had a lot of experience and stuff, but I kind of was just like, this is a new challenge. Like I went in there with no expectations. Like really, honestly, I was like, I trained for this. Like I'm gonna do what I trained to do, and I'll figure out when I get there. And like essentially, I had fun. I had a great week. I had a great performance, and I was like, and I got out there and I was like, okay, next time I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Like it was kind of really where it like ignited like my like willingness to learn and like get better, and that was really exciting.
And you decided to do 3 threes as well, didn't you?
I did 4 threes.
Oh, you did 4 threes?
Yeah.
I don't know why I said 3 threes, probably because of the amateurs.
Yeah.
So you decided to do 4 threes. That whole thing about doing 3-minute rounds, is that about challenging yourself because you have accomplished so much in the sport? Is it to do with history? Is it because you're getting more money? What is it?
I'll be honest with you, it's just what I'm used to. Like, I'd rather do threes. Like, I've done threes since 2017. Like, after Rio, they're like, okay, we're going to do 3 threes. And I was like, sweet, okay, I'm doing 3 threes. And now it's like they gave me the option, you want to do 3 threes? Yeah, I'll do 3 threes. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, it's a big deal, but it's not. And I think that's kind of what, like, I think that's kind of where we're at with it right now is like, you want to do 3 threes? Do 3 threes.
And haven't all your...
Or 3 minutes.
You've done 3-minute rounds for every fight, have you not?
Yeah, and I'm doing 3-minute rounds in July as well.
Yeah, that's
I'm doing 8 threes.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
I think there should be a choice. I think it's impressive that you're doing it, but I do think there should be a choice.
And I think the exact same thing. I want to do 3 threes, but somebody else doesn't want to do 3 threes. We're not gonna make them. Like,
Yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? I think the important bit is to have a choice.
Yeah, I agree. But also, I think it's also down to the money. My take has always been paying properly, then we'll talk about the extra minute. So you know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
kind of me.
Because like I'm doing 8 threes. That's 24 minutes in the ring, and I'm like, damn, that's still 2 rounds more than the championship.
That's my point.
Yeah, I know.
I want to see the proper dough because I'm just like, that don't make no sense.
No, but I like no.
Not you, but I'm talking about just in general. I was like, yeah, I want to do 3. I'm like, you're getting paid more money. Crickets.
Yeah, no, exactly. But it's a personal choice. It's like it's a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice to make. Like I prefer to do 3s right now.
Yeah.
Like I think am I gonna have to do 2s at some point? Maybe. Think about it this way. Think about it as.
But can you go back? I guess this is So say like.
Yeah, we'll have to.
So the championship. So when you do 10 rounds, there'll be 10 twos.
I have no idea. I'm not there yet, girl. Girl, we're still figuring it out. Don't worry about it. That is a future. That's a future me problem. That is not a problem for me.
We won't look at it now.
No.
Don't we prioritise, do we not?
No. Yeah.
We prioritise.
It's not a me problem. It's not a now problem.
It's true. Why are we worrying? So some people might say that Jake Paul is still kind of fighting for recognition as a manager and as a fighter in the game. Tell me something about Jake Paul that maybe the public don't know about him.
He's a pretty down-to-earth guy. Like, he's a normal person. Like, obviously, like, everyone in the public eye, has their image and has their, the person they are in the public eye. But, like, behind closed doors, like Jake's a proper, like, nice guy. He's kind to everyone. Like, he does a lot for, like, children in sport, and it's really great to see, right? So, and he does a lot in the sport. Like, I've got nothing on him. And to be fair, like, I don't really know him that well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but every time that we've been around him, he's been super respectful, like, very polite, kind to us. Like, I've got nothing bad to say.
And he's definitely, obviously, taken the mantle, hasn't he? And is pushing the whole female boxing. And I think that in some respects, some of the others have kind of dropped the ball a little bit. But to quote Eddie Hearn, he did say it has to kind of make sense for them. And I guess if they're not making money from it, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's always
then they're not going to push it, are they? I don't know.
Yeah, but there's always opportunities, whether you take them or not. It depends on you, and it's easy to say like, okay, well, make me money. Okay, but you're the promoter.
Give me the platform.
Like no, but in a sense, like I will do my best and I will show up.
Yeah, I'll do my bit.
Yeah, I'll do my job and I will show up.
Yeah.
But what I think, like MVP does really well is to give us the platform and to give us the opportunities in order to generate that kind of income for promoters, right? And that's where we're going, right? Because you got to generate revenue. Like promoters got to generate revenue. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
How you do it is up to you.
But you've still got to give the girls a platform in the sense of it's a chicken and egg scenario, isn't it?
You got to give us a chance to be able to generate that revenue.
Yeah. What else do you think needs to happen on the female? I'm reluctant to call it female boxing, but we kind of have to.
Yeah.
Because the games are not level.
There needs to be more depth. So we need more women in the sport, and that starts in the grassroots levels. And that starts in like the boxing clubs and in schools and stuff like that. I think the biggest difference between men and women is like boxing is a male dominant sport. It's just a fact. More men go into boxing than women. There's not as much depth, but I think that's just something that's going to happen over time, especially in professional boxing. Like in amateur boxing, like the level's pretty high, and like in women and men, it's just pretty equal, right? But it took time. It took 4 cycles, right? So professional boxing, you can't expect to happen overnight.
Do you think though also that there has to be on kind of what I would call the production side, behind the scenes, there has to be more female coaches, managers, etc., etc.?
Yeah, we definitely need more women working for women. It's kind of like, I think that's something that's really important that we forget is like, yeah, it's a male dominant sport, but we need women who work for women and who do things for women.
I wanted to quote Mama Ali, who is, she was she gave a keynote speech, I should say, in Japan.
Yeah.
And she was saying, I'll have to read it. The power equation isn't balanced when women simply occupy positions of power. It's balanced when the very definition of power evolves to reflect our values, our perspectives, and our vision for a more equitable world.
I read that actually. That was a pretty good quote. I thought it was bang on. It's true because then we talk about equality, but it's more about equity, right? And those are 2 different things, right? And talk about like equal opportunities. That's something that's very different. We can't just say like, okay, everything needs to be even because we don't start on even ground, and people forget that.
I think we definitely need to own more of our own businesses. We need to have, which I think is brilliant in this respect that you've got a female manager. I'm not saying it would be easy for.
It's not easy, and it's not easy for her. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I don't know another person that works as much as she does. Like she works hard, and it's still challenging for her at times. Like it's not easy, especially in a male dominant world.
It's incredibly challenging also for a female to get funding, perhaps, to get sponsorship.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm not just talking about fighters that they can't get sponsors, content creators like myself, we can't get sponsors unless we work for somebody else. Then,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely more difficult, or also the type of content maybe doesn't go, doesn't align with your values. Like there are also other things that we take into consideration.
She's moved to Yorkshire. It did make me smile. It did make me smile a little bit. So we're obviously here at the Steel City Gym in Sheffield. Grant Smith, father of Dalton Smith, is the daddy of the gym. He's the daddy of the gym. Why did you choose this gym in particular?
Well, my fiance trains here because he's also a professional athlete. But like,
he's behind the camera.
No, but it was just like a natural, like something that like almost a coincidence, right? Like came here. I came here to just start like training a little bit, just kind of feel out like what the environment would be. And then like there happened to be a spot with Pierce, who's like who works with Grant. And I was like, you know what, let's try it. We did, and it was a good fit, and I felt like I could learn, and I felt like it was the right place for me. So something that happened very naturally. Didn't really have to force it. I didn't have to like come out here and like kind of there was space for me.
Not only is there space for you, they seem to be willing and open and able to, going back to the female fighter thing, you've got loads of female fighters in this gym.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We have a couple. We have Nicola, we have Ebony, we have myself. Chantel was here for a little while.
Have you met Katie Taylor?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, she's also a very down to earth, very like genuine. She seems like a very genuine person. I got a chance to meet her, talk to her a little bit. I think, I guess I don't know, like I don't really get like starstruck, right? Because I remember that people are people as well, right? But it was really really cool to meet Katie because she's had a huge like she's played a huge like impact on women's boxing in the Olympics and in professionals. So very inspiring.
July the 11th, Madison Square Gardens, like some of the biggest names in boxing. I mean, it's phenomenal, really.
Yeah, to be fair, it's really cool. But again, like I like to just focus on what's in front of me. Like for me, it's just another fight. Like I'm gonna go there and do what I have to do. And the fact that it's on a big platform and with all these incredible fighters is like great. But I'm there to do my job.
I think what's interesting about that, actually, and I like that, you're kind of not getting dazzled by the bright lights. It's just like, listen, that's kind of the subtext of what's going on.
Yeah.
But the main event, realistically, I've still got to do a job.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I can't get all flipping excited. Do you know what I mean? It's true.
Back to the basics. You get excited after.
Lastly, if you could go back and give your 10-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Enjoy it while you can. Honestly, I think that's the piece of advice I give myself because, like, things just go by so fast. Like, last 10 years have gone by so quick, and I've accomplished so many things. I've made so many memories, but like sometimes I felt like maybe I could have enjoyed it a little bit more. Like I've traveled across the world. I've been in places that people can only dream of. That's why I tell myself, do it, but enjoy it more. Yeah.
Is it difficult though sometimes as well that you kind of to stop and absorb it and take it in because the occasion, you can't get too caught up in the occasion because then there's another fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But it is important to take a moment and to be grateful.
I'm
agree. Really into gratitude. I think gratitude goes a long way, and even the simplest things you can be grateful for. That's something that I got that I'm more aware of now that I'm older and over the last couple of years is gratitude. It takes you a long way, and you can still be grateful without being caught up in all the
glitz and gum.
Exactly.
So I'm looking forward to seeing you out July the 11th, Madison Square Gardens. I will get excited for you.
There you go. Someone get me excited.
Yeah, I'll get excited. Yeah, thanks very much for giving us your time.
Thank you for having me.